3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good weed. Smoke so much that you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. Or my new favorite one, tick tock, suck my cock. I take a shit and it goes plop plop. Annihilate your pussy like a robo-cop. Your grandma gives me top. Put holes in you like SpongeBob. Take your hoe to Auschwitz.
That one gets me every time.
I don't like how that ended. Think we're ready to go?
Fuck Hitler, he smells like shit. We're 11 minutes past due.
Oh yeah, I was totally expecting today was gonna go to shit, so I didn't think about it until like an hour before. I'm like, the boys probably aren't gonna be on time.
We were on time, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
You think you were?
No, we were.
Showing up 2 minutes past is not on time.
We didn't.
Yeah, I was watching the clock. It was 9:02 when you walked in.
Chandler, when I was walking down the hallway, I looked at my phone said 8:58.
Your phone is bullshit.
Listen, I'm gonna eat this crunch bar, and you can fuck off. I need that. I got that craving that only a crunch can satisfy.
I might have to go get myself a snack while we're mid-recording, because I am hungry as well. All right, let's kill ourselves on the air. Ready? Ready? Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Meow, meow. Let us make out on the highway.
There is a it's like a sitcom where Tony Danza was on, and they had like a bit about that where what he's asking about it. He's just like, no, I've never met. He's just like, no, that song's not about me. I've never even met Elton John.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Dark Side on Cardinal Radio. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm your host tonight, Chandler Pulaski. Woo! Woo! And with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Chandler Pulaski, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Chandler Pulaski, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Chandler Pulaski, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Chandler Pulaski, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Channing Pulaski, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Channing Brownstone, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Cheney Brown Boy, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Pulaski Chandler, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Puvoloski Channing, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm PDD Ching Dog, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Pavlov's Channing, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Pooplar Chunar, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Popular Channel, and with me here tonight is...
Hi, I'm Poppin' Channels, and with me here tonight is...
Here, Poppin' Fresh, and with me here tonight is...
Listen, there's no F in Chandler Pulaski.
I can throw random words in wherever I want. I started this.
Oh, yeah? Hi, I'm Alex Mazzoni, with me here tonight is... It doesn't work, Chandler! That's not how this goes! You ruined it. Start it over!
Start the show over.
See, Chandler, I was a little upset you had an opportunity for a
Channing.
good cold open when I was talking about Tony Danza, and you just like waited. You're like, no, I'm not going to do it.
No.
Set that cold open up right for you.
Oh, you mean when I pressed the buttons on your mics? I gave it to you. Yeah, I was a responsible host. I was responsible and creative in every of the good ways. So, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode of The Dark Side. Where are we? Who are we? What's going on?
I'm being held here against my will.
Alex has never seen the outside, so to speak.
Well, that's true. Never actually been out there. People tell me the sun boils your skin and gives you 8 layers of cancer. That's why I don't go.
Only 8?
Only 8. That's why I stay inside and I eat my Altoids for nutrition.
Good lad, good lad. Good army.
My Altoids and soil.
This podcast is brought to you by Soil. It's outside.
It's outside.
You can't go out and get it, though.
It's a dirt. Alex, does this look familiar to you? I don't want you to read it out loud, but
Oh no.
it's three minutes ago.
I don't know who that is.
I can't see it from here.
Okay, so can I say the username?
Yes.
Okay, the username is Where's My Cabbage?
I like that username. I don't know where your cabbage is, but I'll look.
Who is this?
To the best of my knowledge, they're not currently listening, but they were, and they wanted us to know.
Where's my cabbage? I have one question for you, and that is, where's my cabbage?
Where is
Oh,
your cabbage?
shoot.
Who is that? I haven't got any messages from him. No, nothing.
Whoa.
Who could that be?
Who could it be now?
Everybody that I've told to listen to the show, I don't think I.
Alex?
Oh, it could be. What?
Well, who do you know that loves cabbage, is infatuated with cabbage, who would be upset as to where it has gone and would make a username looking for it? Who do you know?
Me.
Well, the only thing is that their greeting there is aggressive, and I'm trying to think of a person who.
It is an aggressive greeting.
Is
It's the pizza. The pizza is aggressive.
it's the pizza? Oh no, dude, they're listening. The pizza. It's Papa John's. They're on to us. We cracked the code already.
Oh, God.
Freeze, Department of Agriculture.
I didn't mean to, man.
Nobody can stop Papa. Nobody.
Papa's coming.
Papa's here.
Big Rico's Pizza. No one does a slice like Big Rico. Nobody.
What?
It's from Welcome to Night Vale. I assume so, just based on how you said
assume
that.
so.
Yeah, it's from Welcome to Night Vale.
All right, well, Chandler, what do you want to talk about? Since our last podcast, 1,000,002 trailers have come out for things, so we could talk about that. We could talk about, because I know you'd like to talk about this, or then Dan Harmon.
A thing with Dan Harmon? What is that? I
Not Harmon. Not Dan Harmon.
Who's Dan Harmon?
The dude who just left Nickelodeon.
Butch Hartman.
Butch
Dan
Hartman.
Schneider.
The king of
Hartman.
the king of thick outline cartoons. Really thick.
The king of thick.
The
I don't like that. no.
master of thick.
Master of thick.
Oh, dude, you could get 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield on YouTube for $20.
Oh,
Wow.
you can rent it for a day.
You can rent
$20.
for $20.
Is that what? Are you being serious?
I imagine that's to actually download and buy it.
Yeah.
but-
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't even want to buy those. Oh, listen, I can get them both for free on Hulu and Netflix. So
Speaking of, I want to bring this up. We'll get it over with. We'll get through it. Speaking of things on Netflix that recently came out during the Super Bowl when a bunch of trailers was coming out, the Cloverfield Paradox, which we were just talking about Thursday before it came out. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that amazing?
It's a strange time we live
I want to
in.
let you guys know
What Stranger Things?
that we definitely don't know what's going on in the moving industry before it happens.
No, we definitely don't have connections with J.J. Abrams.
Just like how we definitely don't know that Tom Holland will be in the Venom movie.
We don't.
We don't.
Don't even ask us.
We don't know.
Well, please save your questions for after the podcast.
Anyways, let's continue.
Yes. I saw that, Eric Rasta. You think I don't watch Who's Listening, and I just saw your name disappear. I know who's
Eric,
watching.
where's my cabbage?
Where's my cabbage? I want to know, who is that?
Who is that mysterious figure?
A dark and ominous figure standing in the hallway.
Hold me closer, Mr. Cabbage.
Hold me closer, where's my cabbage?
All right, but what do we want to talk about?
So,
Cloverfield
Quick, we're losing
Paradox.
them, Chandler.
we're losing them. Ah! Yeah, not like we don't always lose them in the first 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, with
Ev-
that kind of
ev-
attitude.
every
maybe.
single
Yeah.
We
episode.
can't let them know that people always leave. We gotta be like, hey guys. Oh,
We can't let the communists win,
hey
Chandler.
Chandler, what's the listener count on the screen that no one else can see?
Dude, it's 305 people and counting.
Wow.
It's blowing my mind. So anyways,
Just edit that first part out.
yeah, no, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Cloverfield Paradox is basically everything we talked about on Thursday, plus or minus a few things.
Plus or minus it being good.
Yeah. Well, we did have this discussion too. It's not a matter of perspective, but it kind of is. It's like if you're watching it for, decent Netflix produced sci-fi, it's a pretty freaking good sci-fi movie. It's
I heard it's because
I've seen some really high quality Netflix things though.
It is not
Is
Alien.
the problem.
It is not Alien. Set your bar lower.
I'm not expecting it to be Alien. My bar was pretty low, and then people are like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to set your expectations even lower." I'm like, at that point, I don't even want to watch that movie. If I have to set my expectations so low, then it's a bad movie.
I don't like.
You don't have to watch.
I heard that it was decent as a standalone sci-fi movie. It's decent. That's what I heard. I didn't hear it was good. I heard it was decent. That being said, I still want to watch it because there are elements of it in the review that I watched that were like, oh, that sounds interesting.
No, like really,
I'd like to
really
learn more.
interesting things happen in the original script parts of the movie. The parts that people don't like are the parts that, for whatever reason, they put in the trailer. And like, I don't like how they advertised it because they did the whole like, it answers the questions kind of thing, and it doesn't. Which if they would have just said it's a cool space movie and hey, it takes place in the Cloverfield thing, so it might connect, and instead they pushed it as like, yeah, it's every answer you ever wanted, and it's not. So that's what pisses people off.
Right, rightfully so.
And it pushed like supposedly it takes place during Cloverfield, but it doesn't. But it does. But it doesn't.
I know it takes place because it's called the Gard particle. The Gard particle.
GERD particle.
The GERD particle.
So here's the basic plot without movie ruining spoilers. Because honestly, it's a Netflix movie. You have access to it, or as most of America, you know somebody who has access to it who can give you access.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of excuses not to see it.
I think most people are probably gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, and I'm not mad about that because it opens the door for like them to make decent Netflix-based movies like that. Because I'm like, it is decent. It is fairly decent. You can sit down, you watch it, and I'm pretty satisfied with that science fiction story.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. So the basic premise, as we discussed the 4 days before it came out, astronauts are in space and they're using what is it?
Particle accelerator.
A particle accelerator to develop a way of producing energy that they can beam down to Earth because like there's an energy crisis and the resource wars are about to start. Like there's tanks are rolling up on borders and things, and they're like, we got to figure this out, otherwise the world's going to kill itself. So they're working on the particle accelerator on the Cloverfield, which is the name of the space station. And like in the beginning of the movie, it gives you a little context. Everybody's talking about the Cloverfield paradox, which is like this, and it's basically this dude. I can't remember the actor's name, but I've seen him like 1,000 times before. But for 3 seconds, this dude is in there, and he's like the guy yelling about like. He's talking on an interview in the news like the Cloverfield paradox. If they shoot this thing off and it works, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna create energy. It's gonna open up portals and monsters are gonna come out of them and aliens and God knows what. And it's like he basically lists off like all like 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield, and it's like subtle, super subtle.
Well, this was like one of those things where it's just like, because it's happening in a movie, you're like, obviously this guy's right. And in a real life scenario, if someone tells you it's going to open up portals where monsters and aliens are going to come
in
through.
the context of like these people on a space station, it's like, that sounds crazy because the science that they're doing backs up them and not this crazy dude. And it's like, I'm with the astronauts right now. I can't, even though I know it's true. So anyways, they they start up this particle accelerator, and they're on the space station for 2 years, and it doesn't work. And they only have a limited amount of energy to fire this thing up and try to get it just continuously
I want to
producing
know
energy.
where are they getting the energy to even turn on this particle accelerator?
I'm assuming it's just a nuclear reactor.
Because those things take a lot of power.
Mhm. Like, it's something about reactors or something like that. And then, like, later on in the movie, they're banking on that thing to work and, charge up the station so they can continue doing whatever. So they keep firing it up for 2 years, and it just doesn't work. And, like, the wars are about to start and stuff. And then one day, it starts working, but then it overcharges or something like that. And there's, like, a flash, and everything goes crazy on the station. And when everything calms down, they're like, okay, what's going on? Let's figure out what happened. And then, the chick looks out the window, and the Earth's gone. And for the first 5 minutes, they're like, okay, the Earth can't be gone. It's not gone. The Earth can't just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth didn't disappear. They shot to the other side of the galaxy, like on the other side of the sun, parallel to the Earth. So now the whole situation is like, okay.
How does that work? Do they go like through the sun? But
Then they realize through a series of events that something might have happened where they didn't travel across the galaxy. They traveled between dimensions into a parallel universe that just happened to set them on the other side of the galaxy.
Well, hold on now. Are you saying other side of the galaxy or other side of
Basically,
the solar
like,
system?
other side of the solar system. Yeah, the solar system. Sorry, I'm using wrong terminology. Basically, like, Earth is here, and whatever happened, they got, like, sent parallel. Basically, in this parallel universe, you could say maybe it was like the Earths are rotating, like, parallel to each other. So when they zapped into this other, this other universe, they're where the Earth would have been in their universe or something like that. Overthinking it totally, and I'm giving this movie too much credit, but that's how I am. So the whole situation is they got to figure out how to boost up the particle accelerator and hope that it sends them back to their own universe. While that's happening, on the ground on Earth, Cloverfield is happening. But I don't think, because Cloverfield takes place in 2008, I don't think this movie takes place in 2008, which raises a bunch of questions about, like, what is happening and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And, like, all the stuff on the ground is from this doctor's point of view. And he's the husband of one of the ladies on the ship, on the space station. So he's, like, between, I got to go to the hospital and help these people who might be hurt from this disaster. He's talking on the phone to, like, NASA or something. He's like, where's my wife? And NASA's like, I don't know where your wife is, man. It's a bad time. And all these things are happening. It's crazy. And
So this obviously doesn't take place in the same...
same
It's
universe as Cloverfield. No.
Yeah.
And not the same universe as 10 Cloverfield Lane.
But it does, but it doesn't. It doesn't take
In
place...
the story, like, multiverse, it does.
Yeah, I was saying the multiverse, but in the
So
dimension-wise, no, not same dimension.
So there's two theories going on with this movie that in the scope of the multiverse. The event of the Cloverfield paradox causes ripples in time that cause the rest of these events. Like in Cloverfield, for whatever reason, the Cloverfield paradox opened up a time rift or a dimensional whatever you want to call it that spawned the Cloverfield monster millions of years ago in the Atlantic Ocean. And then the dimensional rift opened up access routes for aliens to invade in 10 Cloverfield Lane and all these things. Theory number 2 is JJ bought the script and didn't think it through. So he jammed as much Cloverfield in, and Clover shows up at the end of the movie. And you get a good look at that. And it's like, ha-ha, look at this.
Wow.
That was a spoiler. That was 100% a spoiler. But I don't care.
I mean,
because I was
I'm not
unsatisfied with
interested in
that.
seeing Clover. I
Yeah.
want to know what happens on the space station. So I don't care.
Space Station bits are good. If we cut out everything that was not the space station, good movie.
That's what I heard. Because I mean, I don't really care that the monster shits at the end. I guess that's not important to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure I didn't know about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, I guess. But the only parts I care about is like there's 2 parts that I heard about in a review, and it was like I was like that. Now it sounds stupid, but also sounds like I want to see.
Hold
it.
on. Was it? And
Well,
something.
They're gonna know what this means because they showed that in the trailer.
Riggy.
Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly.
It's okay.
I kind of like. It didn't make sense, but it's like classic sci-fi kind of trope where it's like it doesn't need to make sense. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I like.
See,
that
I haven't watched it, but like I know about it. And
well,
to me,
it's in the trailer. Yeah.
To me, it's just like I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just being weird for the sake of being weird. Which
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
You can be weird as long as it goes somewhere. Where like it's not as weird once you get to know it. That's just like it's just weird. Because
Well,
why?
I mean,
it's weird.
I think that they can get away with it though in that case, just because they are like dimension hopping right now. So of course things are just not gonna make sense.
because it's like
Okay.
it's not just
you know,
it's not just like yeah.
I'll take that.
And then there's like the broader context of like all of these things are happening and they're not just working with 2 dimensions. Like it's not one dimension interfering with the other. It's like multiple versions of all of these things just being like mashed together because they did this thing. So that's kind of like how I explain my science, my movie science.
Your science.
Science explains away. So tear out all the Cloverfield bits. You can still call the movie Cloverfield or whatever, but just tear out all the Cloverfield bits, and it's a pretty fairly decent movie.
If you would have just if from what I'm hearing, if you would have just tore out all the bits of like forced Cloverfield, change the name from God Particle to Cloverfield Paradox, and just slap the company name places, it'd be a Cloverfield movie.
It'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It would, and and like the advertising just was like, oh, it's gonna be Cloverfield, it's gonna be Cloverfield, it's 2008, everything's gonna be good, man, you're gonna love it, man, it's gonna be good. And then it was not that.
Wow. Yeah.
I want to throw some dimension talk at you real quick.
Sure.
Did you know that humans are 4th dimensional beings? But whatever dimension you are, you can only see the dimension below it. So we're 4th dimensional beings that see it in the 3rd dimension. 3rd dimensional beings can only see in 2 dimensions, and then so on and so forth. So like a 3rd dimensional being that only sees in 2D sees a line, you know?
Yes.
They can make out like, let's say there's like a big shape here, and if you were to pass through that with a 3rd dimensional being, like looking at like whatever direction you pass through, like of course like we can see like all this jazz, but all they're gonna see is like just the
Like
line.
in the line of sight right now, I could not see past my laptop to anything else, right?
Yeah.
There's a story called Abbott's. I think it's Abbott's Flatland, where it literally talks about a world where it's just 2-dimensional shapes, or I guess technically 3 dimensions. But yeah, and he gets visited by the main character gets visited by a sphere, who at first tries to explain what 3 dimensions are to a 2-dimensional like being, or I guess it's 3 dimensions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He tries to explain it to him. He just doesn't understand. He's like, that doesn't make any sense because he can only
No, yeah.
see,
Perceive in that
and then
2-dimension.
eventually how the sphere, because like the sphere can move in 3 dimensions. Yeah, we're talking about. We were both in the same philosophy class. He basically lifts up like the square or whatever he was, and like lifts him up, and he's like, oh wow, like it's just like this crazy experience that he's never had before, and it's just like, oh okay, that's interesting. And then he tries to go and explain it to other people, and they're like, I don't get it.
But
Yeah.
then, like, other spheres tried this before, and, like, with other people, and the government's just like, it's too crazy for people to understand, so we don't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's impossible. It is impossible to explain a higher dimension to a lower dimensional
Like,
being.
we can't even picture a new dimension, because it's inconceivable.
Yeah, because I mean, like I was saying, we're fourth dimensional beings. But whatever.
You know
dimension
what
you
you know
see
what
one
the
below you.
you know what
You perceive things in one below
the fourth dimension looks like to a fifth dimension being. It's just atoms. They can see
we don't
atoms.
want there to be a fourth dimension because then block universe and there's no free will.
Well, no, his thing is
Well,
we are
fourth
fourth dimension. We're fourth
I mean,
dimension
it's just
beings
like-
that see into the third dimension.
Yeah.
A fifth dimension being, I imagine that's like seeing like everything's atoms. It's just constantly moving,
Well,
like
you know
universe
what?
moving.
A tesseract, a fourth dimensional square.
Yeah.
So that would be the cube that a fifth dimensional being would see.
What is it, Interstellar?
A tesseract. No.
Well,
Well, we're trying-
with like the block universe theory. I think this is like, wasn't it from Einstein? Like this was
Basically,
his
yes.
idea.
If time is an actual dimension, not just a concept we created to like understand things, it sucks for us because our destinies are predetermined, and we're just slices of the whole. For example, Alex time slice. Everything you are is already existing. You're just
Is,
experiencing
have,
it.
and will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like this, just like a big long block that's everything that was and will be, and just like each individual thing is a little like slice in the block, where that includes, you know what I mean, all this time. Sure. Ah! I would rather talk about.
I know that you wrote it on that to not disrupt the radio show.
I tried.
But whenever
It
you
didn't work.
whenever you
It didn't
type
work.
something on your phone and show it to us, we just both like go silent and just like stare at the phone screen like trying to read what you said. Ooh.
Yes, I would like to talk about that.
I know
Talking
that.
about something that relates a little bit more to what we were just talking about with space and stuff. Do you want me to get into it?
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing.
Go for it.
Neil deGrasse Tyson says that I think he said that there are possibly 10 or 11 different dimensions. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I don't know anything past that, but
You could just say like, oh yeah, there's an infinite amount of dimensions because you can't we just can't know. Like we can guess that like time is the fourth dimension, but outside of that, how would we know what any of those dimensions are? You're just
what?
guessing that they might be there.
there was science behind it. I just don't remember what the science was behind it.
It's
That would
very
actually-
speculative science.
That would
though.
actually explain the heck out of like alien abductions if it was like if you put it in the perspective of like they're extra dimensional beings like from the fifth dimension, because then that would explain it'd be like the sphere talking to the cube thing where it's like they come down and they try to talk to us or try to tell somebody something, but like it's impossible for us to interpret what's going on with them. So it's kind of like, oh, it's just crazy. You're crazy. Everything's crazy. Everything you say is crazy.
He's a nutso. Get out of here.
Get out of here. You didn't talk no aliens. So, yeah, that was the Cloverfield Paradox. Watch it if you like decent sci-fi. Don't watch it if you're expecting Cloverfield answers.
So I did not think 10 Cloverfield Lane was connected. Is it?
They're all connected.
But they were
It's a
telling me that-
multiverse.
They were telling me it wasn't connected. But now I
Who?
guess it
Who
is.
is they?
They're like the film director. I thought J.J. Abrams said it wasn't not connected.
It's not. It doesn't. It's not like 2008 Cloverfield happens. 2016 10 Cloverfield Lane happens.
Same universe though.
No.
Oh.
No.
Multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse.
Okay, I guess
Because
I'll
there's
just watch and
it's like
find out.
it's
Does
dimensional.
10 Cloverfield
No,
Lane
don't
actually
expect
really good?
answers. Don't go into this expecting answers to anything. Go in looking for decent sci-fi.
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane was really good.
Also-
That
Yes,
a
it
movie.
was. It was brilliant.
Has anyone heard about the show or watched any of Altered Carbon on
No,
Netflix?
looks
Because
pretty
that
good.
it looks good to me, at least like set wise. I'm like, it looks like there's a lot of money in that, and like I know 2 actors in it, so I'm like, oh, that's good. It looks interesting, but I haven't heard anything about it. Is the
It's
problem?
got that guy from the. Anyone ever watched The Following?
No.
It was this show about this cult, and it was really good, but it got canceled after the 3rd season.
Fair enough.
But I don't know who he plays in it, but the guy's like, I just want you to solve my murder, is the cult leader in The Following.
No, I thought that was Thomas Jane. He could be in The Following, but I thought it was Thomas Jane. At least that's what it looks like. But I was like, it might not be because I've never heard him do a British accent because he's not British and he has a British
He
accent.
did the
in
British
it.
accent in The Following.
Okay then. I'll look it up, or maybe Chandler is. I'm looking it up.
not looking that up.
Don't worry, I'm
Oh,
looking it up.
can I show you guys a video? It's about this. It is about this.
You want to be in the show? Why don't you get a seat with the boys here and talk with us?
Can I just say what we're... Because why don't we just say what we're talking about?
Well, yeah, Solo, a Star Wars story.
Solo! A Star Wars story!
Before we show that trailer, can I show something regarding that
I'm
trailer?
not
I've got
showing the
chocolate
trailer.
on my fingers.
Yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
All right, can I?
Mike's over here. Mike's.
So I'm a bit afraid they're gonna ruin it, but I'm gonna watch it regardless because Star Wars. Because I think they're doing too much of a good thing. Because but back before there was 6, 7, 8 Star Wars movies. Now there's 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's too much of a good thing. I think we'll see though.
Are you talking about the Game of Thrones?
No, I'm talking about Star Wars.
No,
Well,
no.
the
The Star Wars just announced that D&D, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the writers of Game of Thrones, are making a Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, dope.
Open your Facebook. I'll send it
Eh.
to you.
It's
I'm not. I'm not.
it's, like
this
they
is
don't
a-
have their own thing.
Talk
to, like,
about it. Sit down and talk about
Well,
Game
you
of
guys
Thrones,
have to experience
George R. R.
this.
Martin
We're not-
laid it
what
out
is
for
the-
them,
what
and
is
even
the-
since going past the books, they haven't been that great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Since going
That
on their
is
own.
True.
So and because one dude was talking about it, it's just like ever since, you know what I mean, George R. R. Martin hasn't been a part of it. It hasn't been as good. This is a completely new thing where they have to they have a world that they don't have to make, but they have to make all new characters and stuff like
It
that.
feels very different
Yeah.
compared to the previous seasons.
But at the same time, I think what they've done with Game of Thrones, the spectacle and stuff like that, those events and the later season, I'm like, that would be pretty cool in a Star Wars.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Star
we
Wars.
watched the same video about how they could fix the 7th season.
Yeah.
It was amazing. One thing I was rewatching the show, and one thing that really makes me upset is how much my man Stan just got screwed. They just decided they didn't want him in the show anymore, so they just hit him with everything.
He was a good character because at times you want to root for him, and other times you're like, I want
He does
you
some
out of
bad
here.
stuff,
yeah.
but he was a good king.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your
Except
philosophy.
for the religion bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was going to save the North.
What are we talking about?
Game of
Stannis
Thrones.
Baratheon.
Oh, okay. You're my mind Stan. He's king, and I'm like, you guys talking about the newest season? Because I know it came out on HBO. Well, no, it didn't. It aired, but it's not on HBO yet. So
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Dude,
It aired, that episode's released on HBO as soon as they come out.
yeah. As soon as the episode ends on live TV, it goes
No.
up on HBO.
What's
On
the
HBO,
newest?
It's there, but I could have at 9:01. I could have skipped right to the end of the episode. I watched it live on HBO now.
What is the newest season? 7 or 8?
7.
Seven.
Okay, I'm all
Eight,
caught
it's
up.
not out yet.
It's not gonna be out for another year.
Nope, 2019.
Yeah, but Stannis, I'm so mad about Stannis.
All right. Well, let's go back into Solo. I agree, but let's go back into
Yeah, what
more
happened?
current.
Why did we start talking about Game of Thrones?
Because the Star Wars or the Game of Thrones writers are now doing Star Wars.
They're doing their own trilogy. So yes, Star Wars, a solo story. So it's about Han Solo and how he came to be? Question mark.
Yeah, a bit hesitant on this one because I heard they did a lot of reshooting.
Han Solo.
I guess that's a good point. I do like this scene here, but it's with the audio. It's just what he says.
See,
Like,
everything's fine now.
Yeah,
we're fine.
destroy it.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
Yeah, we're almost in some serious trouble there. It's fine. We're fine. They're like, look.
Are they seriously just bringing stuff back from the originals again because they can't come up with something new?
What are you talking
I mean-
about?
Are they referencing the episode 4 where it's everything's fine? How are
No,
you?
he's
No.
Oh, that's what you mean.
he's
It's
flying.
No,
he's
no,
flying
like-
in the spaceship, and he
Okay.
uses the Falcon to knock the TIE fighter into an asteroid, and he's like,
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
he,
like,
he says,
okay.
I thought we were in trouble there. It's fine. We're fine. And he's looking back at them, and they're like, and there's this tentacle monster, and they have to avoid it.
I thought they were just ripping off episode 4 again.
No.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure this has probably got a couple of original ideas in it. More
Yeah.
than-
Well, I mean, you're saying they're just doing all the old stuff again. To be fair, both Ryan Johnson and now the writers of Game of Thrones have their own trilogies that aren't related to the main.
I used to love Ryan Johnson because he did probably the best episodes in Breaking Bad.
He also did Looper, He did Breaking Bad.
That's-
He also did Looper, which was really
Yeah,
good.
Looper. I still respect him, but I'm a bit hesitant on him now too. 'Cause
Well, it's also how much creative leeway you get with Disney.
That's true.
Like
Well-
you get enough to just like, okay, this is kind of like his type. You know what I mean? This is like a Ryan Johnson type of thing. But like direction wise, you don't get to
The
go
way
in
I'm
those different
interpreting it
directions.
is, I don't know, like, he's got some cool scenes in there, definitely, in the new Star Wars. But he's got some stupid scenes in there, too.
What, the newest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, those little penguin birds.
The Porg.
I thought those
Get 'em
were,
out of here!
I thought those
Exactly.
were fine.
No, they're very
Because
intrusive.
like the Ewoks were just bad. Like I didn't like the Ewoks. It's just like I didn't believe that these. You know what I mean?
But the Porg literally add nothing to the story. The Ewoks
Yeah,
add
but
add
it's
something
it's
to the
just like
story.
a
They're
5
not
second
meant to.
scene here or there where you see them, and it's just like they're just there to be cute
No,
for like
straight up,
5 seconds.
In the climax of the movie, they're like, Porg, Porg, look, there's a Porg flying with Chewie, and it flew into the
That's
window.
all in one
I'm
scene
like,
because
"Get out
I
of
know
my
what
face,
you're thinking.
Porg."
It's in one scene where it's like maybe 15 seconds because like the Porg's like ah, and then it shows like in the ship that like the Porgs in the nest that are scared, and that's it. You see it, and you see it like hit the windshield in a different scene. That's about it.
Unnecessary.
Get 'em out of here!
I thought.
I
I
don't
mean,
want 'em.
could the movie have done without him? Yeah, but did they really hinder the story? No.
I mean, they add nothing to the story.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They don't.
They don't
impede
hinder
it
the
either
story.
way.
Yeah, it didn't hinder it, but
I
I mean,
mean,
like, I felt like
I heard an excuse from Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson said he didn't answer some of those hard-hitting questions was because he didn't have enough time. I'm like, well, you had time from the Porg. You had time from Broom Kid.
You had time for Luke
Casino
Skywalker
Land.
drinking some titty milk.
You had time for Luke Skywalker's fishing adventures.
God, that like I don't know, that scene like that whole sequence is kind of just strange to me.
I like my favorite meme that came out of this was Luke Skywalker milking Kylo Ren.
Oh
You
God.
check him out. You look shirtless Kylo Ren. He's like
I
milking
don't
him.
like. I don't like that one.
He like milks him and like drinks the blue milk out of his like.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought it was super funny.
But going back to Solo, everyone like I know it's kind of like lukewarm on it. I think it looks good. Like I want to go see
No,
it.
as a
Lukewarm. I hardly even know her.
Well,
Well, this is where I leave.
Matt is making
Here's
the
the thing.
please
I,
leave
I will
motion.
not be returning to
I'll be
this show.
afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm afraid that they're gonna ruin Star Wars.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind here. Hold on, I'm gonna blow your mind here. Star Wars ruined itself in the first movie. George Lucas barely saved that thing
Yes,
by
the
going
editing.
in
I
and
saw that.
editing it. That thing
His
was
wife at the time, now divorced, saved it because she was like a master editor, and she actually got the award for that. The award.
that was like barely. This is not a series built on gold. It's just built on people who can
Wait,
paint gold.
I haven't heard this story. What do you mean it was just barely saved?
So like,
What happened?
so we're talking like it's the final days of production on Star
Probably-
Wars.
last month probably.
Fox is like, what are you doing? We gotta get this movie out. It's you're way over budget.
The
and
original
and
cut
you're having
was
a
awful.
yes. The original cut of Star Wars was horrible, and the studio just wasn't like Fox was done with George, and George was having a heart attack halfway into the end. So Fox is like, okay, you got to get it going. You got to get it going soon because this thing is like all we've got. Basically, and like for whatever reason, Fox kind of hinged like, if this works, sci-fi is back in. That's what we're panning, and we got like a bunch of sci-fi scripts on our desk. So if this works, we can start making those. That's how Alien happened.
Yeah.
Alien was like, oh, sci-fi's in again. Alien.
Well,
So
it's also just like the sci-fi, but it's also like ooh, sci-fi and horror. Cause sci-fi's the hot new thing. Do
Yeah.
a horror thing.
yeah, so it's like Star Wars kind of was the hinge. Was like, okay, is this popular? Well, your movie has to work, and right now you're showing it to Steven, and you're showing it to like, Scorsese and all those guys, all your friends, and they don't like it. So you got to fix it in a week or
It
a
was
month.
really awkward. Like I watched a 30-minute video about it, and like there was like scenes where during the opening where they're up in the I don't even know this freaking rebel ship.
Right. Yeah.
Like there was like they cut the scenes where Luke's looking at it with binoculars and stuff.
Oh, I've seen that before.
They
Yeah.
started cutting it. It just like ruined
The pacing
movement.
was off
Like-
extremely.
Well, yeah. It just slowed the movie
A
down.
lot of
Yeah.
the center scenes were rearranged to make more sense. it made less sense. At
So
first.
George calls it, like, his wife is like, oh, I'll do what I can, and then he calls two of his other editing friends, and you know, Christ alive, they got that movie down to whatever, and they've got it like, what did they say? They were using everything up to cut, you know, when they would call cut in some shots,
Basically,
and it's like, just use what we can.
oh my god.
And you know, it's Star Wars isn't gold. It isn't gold. It wasn't gold when George wrote it. It is a
Well, that's like saying-
pile of garbage and money painted gold.
That's
And
like
it,
saying
and it's really, and it's like, it's not about what you get from Star Wars. It's about what you can pull from Star Wars, because that gold painted
You're
garbage,
just gonna keep talking over me, or like?
I'm trying to make a point here. That gold painted garbage, if you can pick it up, play with it, and use your imagination to make more things, that's what Star Wars is.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is we can't like say, oh, the original cut sucks. So like every movie's original cut.
But
probably was
you're
trash.
saying like, oh, this guy playing with Star Wars toys and putting it on screen, that's gonna ruin Star
That's
Wars.
not what I said. Is Ryan Johnson making Han Solo?
No, but
Exactly.
it took 3 people to direct this movie.
Well, I'm saying.
But see, Chandler, to go on that, where you're like, oh, Star Wars, you know what I mean, was a pile of crap painted gold. You could say the same thing. I mean, we haven't seen it, but about Solo coming out, where it's just like, oh, all this upheaval. It's just like, you apparently, during my words, you can save it.
Yeah, it's capable to be saved. It's don't hold Star Wars to a higher standard than what it is.
Well, I'm saying Star Wars. It was like a limited thing before Star Wars. There was the story, and it was something magical. Like everyone, I don't know why it is this way, but Star Wars is dear to everyone for some reason. Like
I'd also like to point out, kind of going on him, the reason why Star Wars might get like ruined or we might get sick of it pretty quick. It's just like, oh, all these movies, and it's just like, I love Star Wars, but part of Star Wars, like the original trilogy, 1977 Star Wars, 1980 Empire, like, you know, the sequel, 1983 Return of the Jedi. There's
much.
there's
That was a
3-year
thing.
gaps. You know what I mean? And then you know, from 83
now they're
to
months
99.
Boom.
Phantom
That's-
Menace,
that's the-
it's
that's
like
the
3
other-
years, and now it's just like every year, if not like at this point, we're probably gonna get 2 a year, like Marvel, like 2 movies a year.
And that's also part of the problem. It's you've got like too many people playing with this thing, too many people playing with this thing at the same time. It's like it's too many different people working on it too, and it's just it's too much. It's the studio's fault to an extent where it's like, these people are crack fiends, you know. They love Star Wars. Give them more Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's part of it is, if we were going to, because what I'm thinking, and this is probably not your mindset, but this is my interpretation, we're gonna have to sacrifice Solo. Solo's gonna have to be the worst Star Wars movie ever, like in like public reception. Solo is going to have to be the absolute worst Star Wars movie there has ever been.
It just
for
has
us
to be
get
a really
break.
bad movie.
Yeah, it just has to be super
Like-
bad, and then we'll get a break.
See, that's the problem is prequels.
Thank
Yeah, kind of bad, right?
There's nothing wrong with a good prequel.
Honestly, though,
Like,
I
but like,
I
I'm not-
appreciate the prequels a little bit more.
There's
Like
more
if
to my
they
statement, but go ahead.
but like thinking about it and what they were trying to do, it wasn't executed well. But I see like the under things are like, it actually tried to tell a much deeper story than the original trilogy with all like
Yeah.
the political stuff and stuff like that. I'm like,
My-
I appreciate the attempt, but it wasn't good.
My point is, prequels, while we can admit they were kind of bad movies, we still enjoy them. But there are people. There's now a movie, the Last Jedi, which is like so split. People actually straight up hate this movie. Now there's just like, I wish there wasn't a Star Wars movie that people hated. Like they're kind of there shouldn't be a Star Wars movie that people hate. They kind of ruined their legacy that way.
You're not gonna stop people from hating a thing, though, and that's something filmmakers deal with on a daily
I'm not
basis.
saying
I'm not
listening.
trying-
I'm not saying like there's obviously people gonna hate things, but a vast majority of society hates this movie, and a vast majority of society may hate Solo.
I would disagree.
I've not heard too much negative stuff about the newest Star Wars movie.
Really? It's crazy on
Here-
the
I would say
Here's-
it's pretty divisive. I wouldn't say it's like in favor of people hating it,
I'd
but it's
say
pretty
it's
divisive.
polar-
It's
Polarized.
it's
Yeah.
yes, it's polarizing, but we also have to remember it's a movie. I don't think people can really like hate a movie. There's people who like in the moment, in the heat of the moment, after they've just seen it and it's fresh in their minds, they're like, "Oh, I hate this movie." They will forget about it in a week. There's nobody out there like going like, "We need to burn every copy of The Last Jedi." So that's kind of the thing. That's where Star Wars sits on a high shelf. Let's bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's not on the high shelf anymore.
No, it is.
I like
It's-
it on the high shelf.
Because you're afraid something will come along and ruin Star Wars. That's how high a shelf it holds in the.
I mean,
in
it's too
your
late
mind.
now. Like it was this magical thing before. Like it was near and dear to our hearts, but it's lost that touch. I feel.
Because even like the Force Awakens came out, and when I first watched it, like the first time I watched it, I was like, it was just okay. And when I watched it again, I was like, oh yeah, I liked it more like the second time. And looking back, and I was like, oh, I kind of don't like it and stuff. But to me, that was still like, it's a decent Star Wars
It still
movie.
had that
You know what I mean? It still had like that
luster.
thing.
Is that the word? I
And
don't even know.
yeah, it's just still like most people enjoy the like
It
the
was
Force
just
Awakens
kind
and
of a
stuff
clone
like
of the New Hope. I'll admit that.
that. Right? Yeah, exactly.
But-
Where it's just like it was very safe.
It added some new stuff, and it was intriguing.
Right, and then just the Last Jedi came.
They didn't really.
It was
execute.
very like. It was just based on people's reactions, where it's just like, oh, they just copied A New Hope. So it's just like, all right, we need to subvert everyone's expectations, and that was like the entire movie. It's just like
Here's
any
something-
like plot choice was just to subvert expectations.
The real question is, why did they need to? Every main episode-based Star Wars movie has a time skip. There was no time skip between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, which I feel like they really backed themselves to a corner story-wise by doing
Yeah.
that. They could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, between each movie, there's a decent gap in time.
Not between Force Awakens
So-
and Last Jedi.
Can I ask you, since you've got obviously a very hardened opinion of these movies, do you know why the original Star Wars was so near and dear to people's hearts?
I can't explain, like, almost everyone in the world, not anyone who's seen it, obviously not everyone in the world has seen it, but people who have seen it, like, why in my childhood, there was tons of movies I watched in my childhood, but I played with the Star Wars toys, I made up fake adventures on my trampoline about Star Wars. I can't explain why Star Wars is like that.
I would say like Star Wars just appeals to like the creative like mindset. You're just like, oh, this stuff can have kind of like the mysticism of Star Wars.
Mysticism, that's the word.
Yeah, like there's still like the original trilogy for like the longest time. There was still just nothing like Star Wars. There was no epic fantasy, you know what I mean, trilogy of movies. It was just Star Wars. You had some like sci-fi movies that were like, okay, this is kind of neat, but nothing had the mysticism of Star Wars. And it was also marketed really well, at least toy-wise.
Toy-wise, yeah. Those
Just like
baton lightsabers.
So and in that vein, what the real problem with Star Wars is at this point is at about 6 movies, it was kind of pushing it. You could still grasp something of mysticism from it, but then you had stuff like the Clone Wars dropped, and they did the whole series in that, and it did world building. So it's like adventuring, it's exploring a new world. The blank pages of the map are being filled
That's
in,
most likely what it is.
and you're losing the ability to imagine things because somebody in an office making cash off of your mysticism is like, well, we got to make another movie. Let's fill in this blank part.
Did you ever watch, before the Clone Wars animated, like the CGI one, whatever it is?
the 2D one?
The drawn one? That was fun.
that was good.
I like that.
And that was actually, I think in the talk of mysticism, that actually worked to bolster the mysticism a little bit, because it was like, well, here's what's going on in the Clone Wars, but we're not going to tell you particulars. This is just stuff that happened, like little tidbits.
They also like factor in the movies, like they explain how General Grievous like went down and kidnapped the Chancellor and stuff like that. Like little things. You're like, okay, I get a bit more context to like a scene in the movie. You're like,
you know what's
okay,
a fun
that
fact
makes
I
sense how
heard?
this happened.
Just remember that line in episode 3. It's like, Anakin Skywalker, I thought someone with your reputation would be a bit older, you know?
Yeah.
Because of that line in the whole Clone Wars animated show, they could not do a scene with Anakin and Grievous because presumably that's the first time they met.
Right.
So they wrote that one line, backed them into a corner like that.
But yeah, there's those things where it's just like, oh, because of like one just little throwaway line, we can't have these two characters meet till then.
So they had
That's
to like
funny.
write plots around like, oh, can't do that. Anakin would be there. Like, oh.
That's funny. I like that. The one thing I liked, like Alex, have you ever seen like the 2D animated Clone Wars? Imagine Samurai Jack, but Star Wars.
Yes.
That
sounds
was
pretty
because
cool.
that was a Tarkovsky.
Because like there's like a
Word.
lot of moments where they're just like silent, you know what I mean? There's like the close-ups on the face, like you know, just like,
Exactly,
kind of like the
when she's
squint of the
battling that
eyes, and
Sith
it's like
Lord.
almost like samurai battles, but Jedi. It's pretty sweet.
When he's battling the Sith Lord in the rain.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then the Clone Commandos, those guys were pretty
Those
sweet.
guys were BA.
Because like for like the most part, they're like dead silent, and they're just, you know what I mean, super tactical and stuff. Yeah.
That was at a point too when they kind of were writing them as like they were essentially living droids. They didn't do anything. They just followed orders.
Yeah.
Dead on. And then like Clone Wars kind of gave them personality, and it's like, oh, well now these people who end up killing all the Jedi have personality. What does that do to me?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, lore-wise, the Commandos actually have the most free will than all the other clones.
Well, yeah, the one commando, like the clones from Republic Commando. You remember that game, Chandler?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had free will, and that's what made them so like special. Is like they had free will. So when Order 66 came down, they didn't follow it. They're like, that doesn't make any sense, and that's when they defected from the army. They hopped out.
Are we gonna talk about that now, Chandler?
No, but it's just a bunch of trailers playing. I'm not
Okay.
excited for
Disregard.
not excited for Skyscraper. But yeah, that's the thing
I don't
about
think anyone's excited for Skyscraper.
When watching it, I was like, are they remaking Die Hard but with The Rock? And
oh,
I was
and
like,
he's
I was
got
like,
a prosthetic.
I was like, that would have been. Honestly, I would have watched a remake of just the first Die Hard, but with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, I would have been fine with that, to be honest. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but no, it's just very dumb premise.
He jumps off the crane and dies, according to the
No, his leg gets caught, and he's got a prosthetic, so it's gonna fall. We'll have to see in the movie if that's how it ends.
Sure.
I'd
you
like
can,
that to
you
be the
can go
ending.
watch it and tell me how it goes. So, really quick close up on Star Wars. That's the thing. The more Star Wars there is, the less mysticism, and that's what's
Too much.
that's what's ruining it. Yes. So I don't think Solo, in the broad scheme of things, it's not going to ruin Star Wars, but it's taking away your mysticism.
It might ruin Han Solo.
I'd also like to point out that
Well,
Alex is
that's
enthralled in
also
this
part
trailer.
of it. Yeah, Alex is really deep into Mission Impossible. That's the thing, though. Because you
What is that? Is it Mission Impossible?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I saw the
J.J.
barbed
Abrams'
wire. I saw like the car, and it looked like dead people inside the barbed wire. I was like, ooh, zombie movie. I'm itching for a new zombie movie.
Let's say J.J. Abrams' studio.
I'm still zombied out from like the really dense zombie.
They were
Arrow
probably
New
I'm
York
getting
songs
really
are
back
really
into it
popular.
right now.
How's Metro going?
Metro is rad. It's spooky. And yeah, I'm at a point right now. I have my silent air rifle. I realized that I should not buy guns because you waste all your bullets and then you just find it in the next mission anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna do that anymore. But I did buy the air rifle, so I'm around with that. Bourbon just got captured by some baddies.
I remember.
And I'm running around all
I think
quiet
it's
like-
he gets captured by the Nazis, the neo-Nazis, I think.
Some gang in Dry Station.
I don't remember.
So I'm running around with this air gun, pumping it up all the way. You pump it up all the way, it's insta kill no matter where you hit them. So this thing's pumping up, I just go pink, someone dies. Everyone's like, "Whoa, alarms, guys!" Like that dude's. I just found a dead guy, and they're like walking around, and as they're walking, like it'll be like a line of guys. One will just drop in the front, and everyone is like, "Oh!" When they run away, they're like looking around. They're like, "Where is he?" And I got every single time I get to like the last guy. And like something really dumb will happen where he just like gets dropped me and shoots me with the shotgun. I die. So I haven't gotten past that part yet, or like I'll walk into the next room and just get hit with like 6 grenades at once because they all just know where I am at that point. But just picking these like there's like 14 or 15 guys in this one room, just picking them all off one by one, and like I just feel like the last dude just gets more panicky and panicky. And it's really satisfying.
So-
Fun game.
So really quick, Matt, I kind of want to ask your opinion on this. So big licensing issue. It's called Mission Impossible Fallout.
Ba-na-dum, ba-na-dum, ba-na-dum,
Do you think they
Sure,
just like
that's
own
something.
Fallout? Like,
No, I think it's gonna like if there were plans, that's gonna disrupt things a little bit in terms of like
for
Yeah,
like a movie.
in case something.
But like,
happened. I know you.
that kind of stuff happens all the time where they use like like the subtitle and it's just like something this, and then someone. It's not like that's banned from any other
It's like
movie
the
title
Legend of
ever.
Korra.
I know, but like, do you think like in the room while they're like picking names for this thing, do you think like that conversation come up like commercials? The commercial department is like, I don't
They
know how.
probably didn't think like off the top of their head like, oh, there's this game called Fallout. They're probably like, let's look up trademarks. There's a video game named Fallout. I think we'll be okay.
Okay, I was
Like
wondering.
that's probably how that goes down.
Okay.
Or like, see, you know what I mean? What rights they have to the term like Fallout, and they're like, okay. It'd be like, you know what I mean? Fallout also possessing all of New or Vegas. You'd be like, oh, you can't have that because it's the subtext. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Of course.
So what we need to be careful for is when they make the new Halo movie that's going to come out sometime, and
Never.
the precursors are going to come back to reclaim the Halo rings, and it's going to be called Halo the movie, Lord of the Rings.
Please.
I'd be pumped for that one. I bought 2 copies already, and it's like that's just Lord of the Rings. Darn it!
Not again.
I thought I had to watch the prequel.
I was wondering why they were all in the dirt.
I would say we
We sit
could.
in the dirt. What did you just say?
In the dirt.
They're all running around
All
the
the
dirt.
hobbits are in the caves and things like that, and the little people are running through the caves in the dirt.
And
the
you got
dirt.
Simon, an eye of great evil.
But I would say, we could talk about the Infinity War trailer. But allow me to recreate the Infinity War like Super Bowl trailer. It's just everyone doing like that, like over and over again. Just people like looking up into the sky and being like, oh.
Here's the
jeez.
good Super Bowl trailer though. Super Bowl trailer. Super Bowl.
Oh, jeez, you guys seeing this?
Everyone-
Oh,
Westworld.
jeez.
Westworld.
Yeah,
I'm so
Westworld
pumped
looks
for
good.
that.
Everybody's looking at the sky and just going, Nani?
And
My
Thanos
wow.
is coming down going,
Oh,
oh my wow, Moshinde,
Yeah.
dude.
That's accurate for him to say though, considering what it means. You are all dead.
Oh, freaking Thanos.
Moshinde, dude. Nani?
But
Oh, yeah, the one down the back. Oh, jeez.
something it came out today, which is something I'd like to talk about. The Venom trailer.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
that
The
looks
symbiote
good.
looks cool.
Where did you see? Oh, you talking about the jars in the trailer?
Yeah, I was disappointed that in the trailer
There was
they-
no Venom.
not even just like a quick shot of like over the shoulder and like you see like one white eye.
Yeah, he was
eye.
screaming in an MRI. That was cool. Like, no, it wasn't. The Venom was cool. The symbiote.
Yeah, it's just like it sets the tone though. Like Tom Hardy's like talking and stuff, and he's just like everybody's got something, a breakup, something like a accident, something like that.
And then I've been possessed by an evil
Yeah, and it's just
alien
like,
symbiote.
It's just like
Is that supposed to be Eddie Brock though?
yes.
I don't know why he's in
Why is
San
he, like-
Francisco.
Why is he so cool?
I thought that was his character.
So
it wasn't
here's-
Eddie Brock like a jock
This
and
is
stuff
this
like
is
that.
gonna this is gonna
I
be.
guess.
I think this is
He's
gonna
a
be
super
based
athletic
on.
dude.
Venom did have his own solo comic book where it was
Yeah.
Eddie Brock, and I think they actually gave
They
him.
based off the comic.
Yes, and I think there's a whole series of Eddie Brock. Like it's just Venom
I've
doing
only seen
things.
the cartoons and the Tobey Maguire movie.
Well, that's not going to be based on that. It's
Yeah.
going to be based on like a whole story where it's just like it's about Eddie Brock. I think it's. I don't know enough about that storyline, but
I know he fights Carnage.
Eddie.
Yeah, that's the rumor is that he fights Carnage. Like
What if he
he's the
fights
villain.
Spider-Man? From Eddie Brock's
It's
perspective.
rumored that they saw Tom Holland on set for this movie, which also would mean that
Oh
it
my
ties
God.
it in.
I would lose my shit if that happens. Sorry for swearing, but
You
It's
need
past
to
10
take a
o'clock,
chill
you're
pill. It's gonna be okay. Disney owns everything. They kind of want to tie these things together. Just it's probably gonna
You know
happen.
But
what?
see, they also might want to distance it because this is a rated R movie.
Tom
Exactly.
Holland. Fuck you, Venom.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry,
It's
Shannon.
just-
I couldn't resist.
Now I have to bleep.
No, that's the first thing Spider-Man says. Just fuck. Just because they can.
Tom Holland drops in the middle of the street. He's like, Oh!
I have had it with these
He pops
symbiotes
up-
on this motherfucking
He
plane.
pops up on.
And then he like, and then he zips away. And it's like that's all that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
This web's up F U
Oh my
C.
God.
He's webbing around and he falls and he goes, "Oh, beans!" It's sorry, Chandler, with the language.
Alex, I'm tired of you cursing on my show.
Oh, speaking of Marvel,
Matt wants you out. I want you out.
new Jessica Jones trailer came out.
I never watched.
And I care
I haven't watched. I
this
watched 6 episodes of the Punisher series and never finished it.
Really, you quit?
I haven't watched.
Like, it's not like I quit. It's just like, oh, I need to like watch that. I don't feel like watching it right now.
I haven't watched Punisher. I haven't watched Jessica Jones.
You watched Daredevil?
Haven't watched Luke Cage. I watched most of Daredevil and I've watched some of Iron Fist.
Well, Iron Fist
Sorry.
kind of garbage.
There's
I
a lot
like
of car
Iron Fist.
I
accidents
like the
in
first
Mission
few episodes, but it gets
Impossible.
bad as the time goes on.
I'm like 6 episodes in and I find it enjoyable.
Something I just noticed about this Mission Impossible trailer. There's a lot of car accidents.
That's Mission Impossible.
There's
Yeah.
like 10 car accidents. In this.
Well, like when it comes to practical, like effects, they like to be very practical with it. You only have so many vehicles and
What
so
is
many
this?
options to do practical set pieces.
Ooh, what is this, Alex? What describe
What?
it?
Oh,
Oh,
it's just Jurassic Park.
it's Jurassic World 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Return
See?
of the...
Return of the Dino Boys.
In a way, this like trailer.
Wait, that woman's still in it.
Yeah.
she's
How
a
did she
main,
not die yet?
she's
but,
a main
like,
character.
In a way, this trailer kind of like saved this movie, and like didn't at the same time and like failed it because it's just like, oh, it's not them just taking all the dinosaurs off the island. That's like only part of it. The second part is, you know what I mean, this like stuff when they're back. It's like, okay, but then you look at like the story and you're like, I don't care. Like you're
Oh, yeah.
all just dumb.
They like, oh, they went through with the thing they did in the first sequel. Great. I'm really pumped for that.
Yeah, like, wait, what is this about exactly?
So, Volcano destroys the original Jurassic Park, which apparently was set on a volcano. I think they would have noticed that when they first built it in '93. So, Volcano destroys the island. They get a lot of the animals off the island, and they put them up in a theme park, probably in California, on the mainland. And what happens?
Ah, beans.
No, put them in a park. At least not yet.
I'm assuming that's what they're going for, like, because there's like the big corporate people, and they're like, oh, this is where we're, you know what, we've got the dinosaurs still. Let's do the theme park
Well,
here.
in the first trailer, I don't even understand what Jeff Goldblum's character's talking about, but he's just like, if we don't take care of these dinosaurs, they'll soon take care of us. Like often, it's just like, but he means like
they'll
literally.
put us in retirement homes.
But he literally means like take care. He's like, if we don't take care of the dinosaurs, like, you know what I mean, save them, they're gonna kill us. I'm like, I don't understand the rationale here. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't actually like seen the trailer for like. No, I've seen the Jeff Goldblum one, but I haven't like listened to it. Like.
I mean, I haven't like listened
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it, but that's what he
Kind of
says.
interesting.
Well,
Oh, A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place looks good.
Ooh, yeah, boy.
I'm excited.
stupid
for
kid turns on the toy.
The
in
kid
the middle
deserves to
of
die.
No, I thought he
You
just
don't
like
listen
knocked
to Jim
something
Halpert.
over.
They just showed like he turns on a toy, like a spaceship that starts like
It could just be one
squealing.
of those trailer things where like they put in the trailer but it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, they did a lot, but that movie looks good.
The one I saw was that they knock a lantern.
A
off the
lantern,
table
and then it's just burning. He takes like the blanket and kind of pats
and
it
like
out.
puts it out like real like it makes
It's
that
really
initial-
quiet.
Dude, the
It's
trailer
apparently
was
supposed
so
to be-
stressful.
It's supposed to be completely quiet. Is what I hear, except for the.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they even like talk in sign language because they're.
Jim Halpert, the guy who his actor made that movie apparently.
This is why. Listen, guys, American
Did he
Sign
do
Language
it? I thought
is
it
a
was.
real
I thought it
language.
was the guy, Jim, whatever his name is.
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski. I thought he
From The
directed
Office.
it.
Hey,
yeah.
look, it's
That's what I heard.
Thaddeus.
You
You
said
just
Jim
said-
Hopper
yeah, you just said
from
Jim
Stranger
Hopper.
Well, I don't
Things.
know what's actually Jim Halpert. is
So the guy-
from
the guy who-
Office.
the guy-
Oh, Halpert. It's like you said Hopper, and I was
Oh.
like, that's. I was like, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, you super.
They're very similar.
So how did you guys feel about this?
I don't know.
I was glad that it wasn't a movie because
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the Crocodile Dundee
Yeah,
movies.
I
I
like
think
how
they're
it was
great.
a trick. I appreciated that.
It was a well-made trick.
I wish it'd been a Tide ad.
Oh my god! At the end, it's a Tide ad. But yeah, because I love the
Crocodile Dundee.
yeah. What there's like a There's a great moment where it's just like it's like a kind of a separate commercial, but they're it's like the actual like tourism commercial where they're like showing the locations and
Australia.
stuff, and they're sitting down like a restaurant like, oh, and they have like fine places to eat, and Danny McBride's character is just like, oh yeah, it could be a good Dundee, and Chris Hemsworth's like, nah, and it cuts over to Paul Hogan, who
yeah.
is Dundee, and he's like, nah,
Nah.
yeah, right here.
Yep. Oh, they skipped over the bit already.
Okay.
While I have you guys, are you
Oh,
interested
boy.
in buying tickets to the Cardinal Ball?
No.
No!
Matt wanted to go.
I didn't say I wanted to. I
Oh,
said
wait,
think
there
about
he
it.
was.
Yeah, there he was.
I only have one suit, and it's my army dress blues.
I can lend. How tall are you?
No, I mean my army dress blues are fresh. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Listen, you
Dude,
have
I
medals,
could totally give you a suit.
You have medals on your suit. I've got medals on my suit.
Where
This is my
people be like,
this
"Thank you
is
for your
my
service."
keeping cool in a suit badge. I'm really good at
You
it.
could wear them.
Oh yeah, here's the.
I've gotta get it
Westworld trailer.
updated anyway.
People would be like,
I've got more
Thank you.
medals
Think.
to put on it though.
please put those on there and go to the ball.
Right now the ribbons. I could buy all the metal versions,
maybe
except
not.
for my
Yeah,
national
it
defense
is.
ribbon doesn't have a medal. No.
A world where you could be free.
Maybe yeah. I think that one is.
I freaking love Westworld.
See, but like I don't understand what the story's gonna be in season 2. Like,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're. I'm
like
sure it'll be
season
good.
1 to me it was like start to finish. I'm like, that's a complete story. Like you could end there and be like, yeah, okay.
I'm interested to see where they'll go.
Okay, this makes me interested. They're
But
doing.
there's
It looks like it's like all like a commercial like you would watch to
Then
go
they-
to
then they
Westworld,
tricked you.
and then it transitioned to like the
was
security
like-
guards are shooting at the bulls. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm
You know, like,
interested.
I was like a sleeper agent activated when I saw like the whole hand holding trailer scene shot. I'm like, there it is.
Yep. And then the one thing I'm interested if they explore like other parks.
Yeah, the other park they could do that.
The samurai one. I was like, that looks
Mhm.
cool.
You better believe there's colonial America world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That's kind of what this is. I mean,
Do
it's
they
the West.
have? Are they all historically accurate, or do they have like other ones, other simulations?
Imagine.
There was a
I think-
spoiler alert at the end of season 1. They go through like the behind the scenes area for a sam.
I haven't seen it.
It's
I
it's
heard-
not like
yeah.
anything like to like the plot. They're just going through and you see like, oh, there's like a samurai like
Okay.
world, and you're like, oh, okay. So it's either like they're preparing to go to like a samurai, like switch over, because they switch it out. They switch like
world in the
storylines.
original Westworld movie, so
Yeah.
they could take creative license.
I always forget that there was an actual movie.
and add more worlds.
I would like to see a world where you just get to be, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. And then as soon as I said what's his name, trying to think about his name, I forgot who I was thinking about entirely.
Hate that.
Did you guys know that dementia is not genetic? You can just develop that at any time.
Yeah.
On YouTube, there's like this ad that I keep getting for like schizophrenia pills, and I'm like, this is mildly uncomforting to me. Like, I don't like this.
Well, it's
And-
checking out what you're watching. It's
No,
like, oh,
it-
you would be a schizophrenic.
It's not that it's recommending it to me. It's just the fact that there's people with schizophrenia out there. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, they see this like, oh yeah, like just the way it's
That's
being
a
marketed.
strange targeted ad.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I have mild schizophrenia. It's just like ah, like you know what I mean?
Oh, poor people. I feel bad for you.
Well, I mean, I know somebody with mild schizophrenia.
Yeah, Alex. I know you.
So
Oh,
Shannon,
no, not me.
You want to go to the Cardinal Ball, right?
How much would it take?
You know what?
Like $16.
You know what, Austin?
Okay,
I want you to
so-
leave. No,
If you
I'm
want
not
to take
interested.
a date,
When is it?
next weekend.
Negative, Ghost Rider. If
Why?
it was in April, I'd go
Why can't you go next weekend?
because I can't hit up that cash bar.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Rip.
No one in your friend group is of age.
He will be in March.
Yeah, it will be in March.
Come
But
on, man.
you know how it is.
Just show up drunk.
Tell you what. Oh no,
Smuggle booze in through your stomach.
listen.
I actually have a good story about that at the Eltley High School prom.
Show up drunk.
No, I know a kid who showed up drunk. He stuck a fifth of tequila in two
Into
really
his
small water
ass.
bottles, and he put them in his pockets or whatever. And he actually got halfway through the night before people found him,
Nice.
and he finished a bottle and a half. So you
Wow.
can figure out how they found him because he was dead. You know?
Listen, I would maybe go if I knew a bunch of my people were going.
Matt will go if you go.
Well, that's not true because my weekend is not set in stone, and I have some things going on that weekend. Is my problem. So I don't want to buy tickets and then,
Not be able to go. Yeah.
or you it's just.
I bet.
Plus,
don't know what
I feel a bit like a tool if I'm walking around in my uniform.
Because I know it's the
I can
17th.
give you a suit.
My dad's
And everybody
birthday's the
everybody
16th.
stops and like, thank you for your service.
It's
Thank
like,
you for your
know
service.
what? Listen.
Thank you for your service. sir.
Here's what I think every time I go to something formal. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put on my dress blues. I'm like, people are gonna walk around and think I'm just looking for compliments.
I can lend you a suit. We're like the same height.
No, no, like Blake and I are the same height too. I don't know. Listen, I'll think about it. All right. If I go, I'm probably gonna have to wear.
Here's how I envision it. Once two of you say yes, the rest of the friend group will just domino effect. I really want
No.
that to happen.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. Unless you
That's a
got.
hard no
surprised.
from me.
Yeah, $16 is a lot of money.
It's $10 now, isn't it? Or is it 16? Back up to 16.
You can get the discounted tickets for $10. There's only a couple of those left.
What are the discount tickets?
So like the Office of Disability Services bought 75 discounted tickets. Well, they're basically giving the association $6 for 75 tickets, and then you guys pay the rest of the 10. It's for people
Oh,
who
I
can't
see.
afford but still want to go, basically.
Ah.
And
You
I
guys
will
have-
say, like, $10, it's a pretty fair price.
There's
No.
a very fair price.
That's a pretty good price. Do you guys have military discounts?
No. We have a free photo booth though, and unlimited chicken tenders.
Ooh. That is pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Another thing is that another side effect of the only suit that you have being like dress blues is that whenever you put it on, you have to be in regulations. So I have to get another haircut. Bingo bango.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Hey Blake, hope to see you at the Cardinal Ball.
No.
No.
That's another hard no.
Yeah, I told you, Dom and Blake, definite no's.
That's it. Definite no.
If you and
Some-
Kate go, Carly's probably gonna go. And
Carly's probably gonna go anyway.
We could get Veronica.
Veronica.
Is a
Okay.
is a
I
good
gotta message
target.
Carly, because if she hasn't bought tickets yet, she needs to buy them for me so I can win this contest.
I don't like you using the term "good target" for something like this. I don't know why.
I'm just
Listen,
gonna watch this Venom trailer.
Veronica
Leave us
is,
outside.
I think, very vulnerable when it comes to chances to show off fashion.
Yes.
Right there, we see that's
Tom Hardy.
Venom trailers going on.
Tom Hardy.
That guy right there, for like a second, I had to look it up on NB. I thought that was Jake Gyllenhaal. That's what he
That's
looks
the
like.
guy.
That's,
Okay, I was wondering.
It's actually Riz Ahmed. He was Brody from
Brody.
Wait, why does he have telekinesis?
Rogue One.
He does
doesn't.
not.
Brody Adrian.
He's invisible, and he's knocking it all over. I figured it out.
You know what's gonna be interesting? I bet there's somebody with telekinesis, but I don't know how they connect to Venom.
And Venom does have that camouflage.
Hey,
I did not know that.
what is that movie? That's like a Marvel movie, but it's a horror movie coming out.
Oh, the New Mutants.
Yeah, is that already out?
No, that comes out in April.
Oh, okay.
And then all of the major movies come out in May. You have Infinity War,
Yeah.
Deadpool, and Solo all come out in May, like a week,
Don't
week,
let me
and then
Solo.
it's like
Boom,
Infinity
boom, boom.
War, Deadpool, Solo.
Cool.
Which I'm like, it's cool, but at the same time, I'm like, money. Like
You know
that's
what?
$30 in
Right
tickets.
now on the Cardinal Ball.
No.
You don't have to go.
If I bring somebody, can I get in for free if they pay?
If they pay, yeah. But here's the deal. Tickets are only on sale till the 13th, and I will deliver tickets to you. You don't have to wait. Don't go to the table. Do not go to the table. Go to me. I will deliver them to you at 4 a.m. if you want.
Okay, if I decide,
Wow, this has 12 million
if I
views.
decide that I want to go, I'll hit you up at 4 a.m.
Cool.
and let you know, dog.
Oh yeah, this
Also,
is the
Carly,
Deadpool
Veronica,
trailer.
or any of those people, send them to me.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you can message them.
I messaged Carly.
I'd also recommend Veronica.
Yeah.
I don't think I even have her on Facebook, do
Maybe.
I? Oh, I do have Rooney. Cool.
Man, cable is expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't afford cable.
Premium cable. Take a hit of this PCP premium cable package. That's what Ryan Reynolds tweeted. He's just like, oh come on, we don't have like the budget to put in like a robot arm. He's just like, we're not removing a mustache here, which is a great jab at Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Like, it's such a strange circumstance.
Wait, what do you mean?
In Justice League, because Henry Cavill, the dude who plays Superman, it was in like he's like the bad guy in Mission Impossible, like the new one. And that one he's contractually obligated to have a mustache, and they were doing reshoots for Justice League, and he couldn't like. Superman just can't have a mustache, but he can't shave the mustache off, so they CGI'd the mustache off his face.
And it's like, it's pretty clear it was CG'd off.
Yeah.
And it's like off-putting. So,
That's funny.
And then, yeah, like they referenced it. It's just like, come on, we're not CGI removing a mustache.
Yeah, I actually don't know a thing about Cable at all.
See, like...
he's
the-
from the future.
I don't.
That's
Yeah, I know
about
he's
it.
from the future, and he's a total awesome dude.
But see, it's
Glad
just
that
like...
he's back. The
And he-
taxi driver.
Dopinder?
Dopinder.
And he really likes Deadpool for some reason.
Not in this one. He's like the villain in this one. But I think that's how like their friendship starts. Oh, he says like, what does he say? You dumb heck. And then he's just like, that's just lazy writing.
Well, that's kind of like in like every piece of material I've seen where Deadpool meets Cable or like Cable appears. He always comes in and is like, "You screwed up the timeline again," or something like that. It's like he always,
you're right. I know.
he always comes in and is like, "You."
Oh, that's gonna be so funny in the movie.
So Cable's like a time cop.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
That's gonna be
Time
so funny.
police. Wow.
I like the in the Deadpool video game. I watch the cutscenes for it sometimes.
Yeah.
There's some good Cable interactions there, where it's like he's explaining. He starts
The best one
explaining.
is the
it, like,
Wolverine interaction though, where you just like slap
Slapping him,
Wolverine
like-
continuously, and there's like just different lines of dialogue.
Eventually, my arm is gonna get tired of this, and he just keeps slapping. And I like the one where it's like he's talking to Cable. Cable's talking to him, and he's telling him like the time distortion, and if we don't do this, it'll break down the very fabric. And like it starts getting,
Oh, is that what
it
it's
gets it gets all muffled and stuff, and eventually like the option comes up like kill yourself.
And it's so
Just
like,
and he's like, you know what? Yeah, and he like blows his head
It's
off,
like
and
a
Cable's
quarter
like,
of a second.
damn it, Deadpool, and then 5 minutes later you come back. It's like, come on.
Yeah. The one thing.
Alex would make a cool Deadpool.
I could see it. The one thing that I don't want them to do in Deadpool 2 is too much fourth wall breaking, which someone
Yeah.
already said. I'm like, I agree. I don't want
I'd be
too much. Stay in the moment, and there's the occasional time where you break the fourth wall.
I think the first one was actually pretty good on that. So if we get levels like that, that'd be fine.
It's just like the small stuff when Deadpool's being dragged in the handcuffs. Is like, you ever see 127 Hours? Spoiler alert! It's cut off his hand.
Those are the good ones, and it's like that's what he's all.
And it's just
about,
like
man.
it's just a quick joke, you know what I mean? It's not just like
Sometimes it's clearly he's talking to himself. Sometimes he's talking to us.
Yeah.
a good
Or
mixture of that.
like when he's referencing like the actors who play freaking Mr. X, Professor X.
Yeah. Or yeah, when
Just
he's
all
at the
fourth wall
mansion,
break.
he's just like, huh, just you two here. That's weird. This is like a school full of mutants. So you can afford, a few extra people. Okay. Like, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeet.
Black Panther. Who's going to see that?
I'm gonna
Ooh,
see
I
I
want
am.
to see
it.
it.
No, like Kendrick Lamar. Well, I was gonna see it anyway, but Kendrick Lamar is in charge of the soundtrack. You better believe I'm gonna see that. Carly can't afford it.
It's $10.
Look, there's Frodo.
Bilbo.
That's Fringo.
Bingo Beckham.
Binya. I like how I don't know. I'm gonna go because like, look at that dude.
It looks interesting.
Some of it, like to me, I'm not that interested in how it looks. And other times,
And,
I'm like, that looks cool.
For our radio listeners, yeah, like we're as we're talking, we're also watching the trailer on the screen. So when we're referencing,
I can't
things-
perceive thought outside of the screen right now.
Yeah.
The thing I love about this movie is the fact that Andy Serkis is in it, and he plays an actual human being and not a CGI character.
Yeah.
Because he's a CGI character in everything.
He's a good actor. I just want him to be him for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He has good facial expressions, which means he's also a good non-CGI actor. People like he doesn't have to be.
Who is he?
He was Gollum. That was where he got like his big start.
He's Caesar.
He's Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was King Kong. I didn't know that. And
Yes.
Really?
in,
Yes, he was.
The Peter Jackson King Kong.
That movie is long.
Yeah, it is.
Tito Jackson.
And then he's Snoke in Star Wars,
Okay.
voice and face.
That means a lot now.
Once
Right.
you do this,
You sit down and yell at people for 2 minutes.
You got the facial expressions.
Board
yeah.
commander.
All about it's all about the facial expressions. Like, can I look like an old
This is
man
this is his biggest
angry
move.
at the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. What I like about this trailer for Black Panther is like when the first trailer came out, it was definitely just announcing that okay, yes, it's done, it's it's coming out soon, but it like looked like the effects weren't done, and I was kind of like I was getting really like I want to see good effects. Show me the good effects to
Right.
get me in it. And now that like it looks beautiful.
oh my
It looks
god,
like a beautiful
the
movie.
soundtrack's gonna be awesome. Did you see the new trailer with the Kendrick song?
Yes.
It's sweet. Yeah.
Oh,
See, like,
I love this bit where they're like, Wakanda's a third world country and it's crap and it's like.
Well, it's also like I forget what Martin Freeman's character name is. Oh, it's like Ross or
Yeah,
Everett
yeah.
Ross.
Yeah.
He like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a third world country. Like he knows, like they know, but he's just like, no, you know. It's not a third world country.
They're living in the future while the rest of the world's living, in basically the Stone Age.
For some reason, I find that hard to believe, though. Like that whole, like
It's-
this
it's-
country's so advanced.
It's like an El Dorado situation. It's
Yeah.
like, how did nobody like figure that out?
Was it
Yeah.
because of the vibranium, I wonder, or
Maybe because that's where all the vibranium comes from, is Wakanda. So it's like okay. There's also like another thing that makes you question like why does all of it only come from there?
Something about a meteorite.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it's probably meteorite.
Because only Ugandan warriors are strong enough to move.
Well,
around.
Ultron
Wakandan
Wakanda.
warriors.
like
fake
Ultron
African
said that the
country.
vibranium has
Oh.
like properties that they didn't really use, so maybe it's got some properties we don't know about.
That's
It makes
true.
people super smart. That'd be interesting.
Good.
It would explain how a kid from Brooklyn, managed to become a military
Oh, they also
genius.
drugged him full of ton of.
super soldier
listen,
drugs.
He's not a military
Steroids.
genius. He
Yeah.
walked up on Iron Man. Okay, I know that movie has a lot of plot holes, but if you're military,
What
you
movie?
don't walk up straight up to Iron Man and all his iron friends. Literally, he's got that shoulder-mounted machine gun that can kill all of you in 1 second. That's not a good idea, Captain.
We did it anyway.
See, but the captain, it's not that he is he's not hyper intelligent. He just has too many vaccines.
Yeah.
They were like,
It's fogging up his mind.
that's not. Yeah, the whole thing wasn't. It wasn't a super soldier serum. They were like, okay, we got to put all these vaccines in you because you're not a normal soldier now. Let's just do it all at once and see what happens.
Yeah. And we're gonna give you one giant shot, and in this shot is vaccines to everything.
And then they come out and he's like, oh man, he's ripped now.
He's
How did that-
jacked.
We gave him the vaccine
How did
to
that happen?
skinniness.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Woo!
Also, when you go back and look at that CGI, it's just weird seeing like you know what I mean. His head like CGI'd into like a small person.
Oh,
Just like
God,
where he,
yeah.
okay, it's just
That's
kind of, it is
so
kind of
weird.
strange when you go back
It
and
wasn't
look at it.
CGI actually. They just filmed those 1 year apart.
Yeah, he lost.
They just
all his
deflated them. They
muscle.
took out the gas, the vaccine gas.
The vaccine game.
You know what I didn't know? In the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, Chris Hemsworth is Kirk's dad.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
it was right in the end on the USS Kelvin.
Yep.
I didn't watch.
Which apparently
Star Trek.
now every
What's that get
Cloverfield
from?
movie has to start out. They go to a Kelvin gas station.
Yeah,
He really likes
it's
that
funny.
scene.
He must have.
It was a good scene.
Fair enough.
In best scene out of Kelvin gas stations, definitely is Super 8. That was the best one. I like that one.
I forget how the creature looked in that.
Like a tree,
Okay.
like a big walking tree.
What if these
Okay.
Calvin gas stations are the real shadow organization?
It's not. What did we call it? Terracotta. It's not
Terracotta.
Not
terracotta.
terracotta.
Oh, can I show you guys this
The
trailer now?
notorious terracotta
What
run
trailer
by
is
the
it?
nefarious
It's solo trailer, but
Captain
different.
Szechuan.
It's
Just-
better.
but different.
Szechuan.
It's better.
And they're taking the
Honestly,
Szechuan sauce out of the
it's kinda
monster,
dumb,
but
but
they
it hyped me
can't
for the movie.
power their ovens with regular energy,
I'll
so
wait
they
till
need
we
the
take it over.
astronauts to go up and turn on the.
They gotta make that. Listen, they're trying to turn the Szechuan sauce into turbo juice
Into turbo juice.
to solve the power crisis,
The energy
and
crisis
also,
and fix things.
and also make a hyper delicious and completely irresistible sauce for their chicken McNuggets.
So Terracotta sends these astronauts up, and they start doing the stuff, but they open the portals to the different universes.
Yeah.
But you know what? The Terracotta know they can use that to get special sauce from aliens.
Yeah, they can get that. They can get it's called the hyper sweet sauce, what they call it, and then actually that's where it all started. Obviously.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
That the Cloverfield paradox.
1944, they find the super special sauce. The monster attacks while they're pulling sauce from him.
Yeah. See, the monster has the hyper sour sauce. The aliens have the hyper sweet sauce, and they knew the only way to get the hyper delicious, irresistible sauce was to create a hole in time and dimensions that would allow for these two, the hyper sweet and hyper sours, to meet to create the ultimate dining experience.
Can we? Oh my God.
Yeah, rather, ultimate dipping experience for your chicken McNuggets.
You think someday we could get J.J. Abrams to let us, like, he'll produce it, but it'll be a parody of, like, it'll be like Scary Movie. It'll be a parody of all the Cloverfield movies. And we just,
I don't
Never.
see that happening.
He will not do it.
Yes, he
Listen,
will.
maybe
I'll
we can
make
get
that nerd
Seth
do it.
Green to do it.
Nerd.
That nerd.
dude, yeah, Seth Green would be all over that.
I'm gonna go eat. I'm starving.
Okay.
Catch you guys in like a week.
Bring me some candy.
All right.
Roger that, Commander Crunch. Have fun on the
Oh,
flip
yeah, the New
side.
Mutants.
Dig-
Find some money.
We don't need no
I know you guys- You
Education.
say you can't afford it. You just want to spend your money other ways. I'm cool with that. But come on.
Listen, dog. If you listen,
We
okay,
don't need your thought control.
Tell it to me straight, dog.
how about this? If you pay to get my patches corrected on my ASUs, then
How much?
I'll go. It's like $10.
Shut up. I'm out of here. You guys have a good one.
Yeah.
You too.
It is $10.
We don't.
It's like it's not that funny. It is. It's the truth.
That's the truth. Yeah. No, I was being serious. If he does that, I'll pay. Then my ticket's technically like $6 then. 'Cause I gotta get my patches fixed anyways. So I'll pay $6 to go to there.
You know, did you guys see the pictures from? I think.
That seems really loud.
Yeah, they're being really loud. in the store.
Unlimited chicken fingers.
Unlimited sauce.
When
Brought to you
we
by
leave
Terracotta.
Tomorrow we should get some chicken nuggets.
We should get some chicken nuggets too. You can be careful though. Next time you go to your local McNugget, they might have the interdimensional sauce. If they offer, do not accept because you won't leave. It's
Offering
irresistible.
a new meaning behind lost in the sauce.
I love it. So you guys are taking off later tomorrow. We're taking a bunch of pictures.
Oh yeah, I forgot we gotta do the photo shoot.
Yeah, we got to do the photo shoot for the thing.
Do that
before you
tomorrow?
go. Yeah.
We
Okay,
could
yeah.
do-
I mean, we're leaving what, like, kind of like late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
Which, when is that? When is it go from afternoon to evening?
So after
7?
Yeah, no, around 6:30.
6:30? Okay.
Right around then is when it becomes evening, and yeah, maybe 5. Maybe pushing 5 because then it's like in certain parts of the world, like that's when sunset starts to happen.
Mhm.
So that's when evening starts.
It is supposed to snow, like there is supposed to be a snowstorm tomorrow. I don't know how much, but it is supposed to snow. But it
Well, we should leave
We'll get-
before that.
it starts pretty early. See, like there's a chance from 3 a.m. and it goes till 3 p.m. So if we leave at 7, maybe it'll be plowed by then.
Yeah, it'd probably be sorted by that time. Okay.
So yeah, we're taking pictures for posters.
Oh, this looks
tomorrow.
awesome.
Oh, the Spider-Verse, yeah.
What is this?
Just watch the trailer. It's an animated Spider-Man, but it looks sweet. I really like the animation style.
Is this Secret Life of Pets?
Yep. 2.
Made by the
Takes
same
place
people.
in the same universe. And also same universe as Boss
Oh,
Baby.
I love this, the way they've got it, where it's like they've dropped the frame rate, so it kind of.
Yeah. It almost looks stop motion, but it's not.
Wait, he was at a grave for Peter Parker?
Because it's like a weird. It's just like a multiverse thing.
Because that's for some reason Spider-Man also connects into his own multiverse.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, there was the game Shattered Dimensions. Where you're
Dude, Miles Morales is in this. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's kind of like the main character, I thought, because he's the one visiting the grave.
Who's that guy?
It's Miles Morales.
Oh.
Is it Morales or Morales?
Morales.
Okay,
Morales.
so he's just a Spider-Man copycat. So, like, there was the original Spider-Man, that Spider-man died, and then he...
But
filled
now
the
he's
gap.
talking to Peter Parker.
But
It's like,
he's
the timeline's messed up.
dead.
Yeah, I know. The whole timeline's messed up. The multiverse.
There's Ultimate Spider-Man. Isn't there, like, in all the comics, there's, like, a Spider-Man that has, like, something from the Beyonders or something like that? Like, he got something from, like, the cosmic powers.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
There's also
I-
like the
and now
list of.
he's-
Do you remember
he's, like,
in the
ultra-powerful.
show or in like the video games like Madam Web and all that?
Yeah, I
weird
remember
stuff?
that from the animated series.
What was that about?
She was like, she had the ability to tap into these multiple dimensions. She was like a multiple dimensional creature, and for some reason, like, she's like, I'm Madam Web. I'm kind of the influencer of all the Spider-Men for whatever
I
reason.
speak for the Spider-Men.
I speak for the Spider-Men.
Dude, she's Shelob.
I don't get that reference.
She's shish kebab.
Shelob.
The giant spider.
Shelob is the giant spider.
Isn't it she bangs is what he says in the
She-bang.
she bangs.
But Shelob is a giant spider in Lord of the Rings whose mother was like
Ugandan.
Yeah.
Her mother was Wakandan.
her mother was well, there's a giant spider that like the main antagonist of the Lord of the Rings like universe is Morgoth or Morgath. He's like the dude. Sauron was his lieutenant, and he was like the most powerful angel, is how it's described in the Silmarillion when I read it, right? Except for he gets the crap beat out of him by every single other dude. He just gets thrown around in the lore. But like in the lore, it's like, oh, he was the strongest, smartest, most handsome of all the angels, and he turned bad. But then like there's this one angel that like in the I say angel, but they're called Valor.
Right.
There's one Valor that like what he like saw what was going on in Middle Earth, because once they go to Middle Earth they can't leave, and he was watching from like the heavens, and he's like, this dude's being like a total like
Dingus.
I was gonna say like something
Rude dude?
nozzle, but I don't know. Anyway, so he's
Bean nozzle.
Oh, bean nozzle. This guy's being a total bean nozzle. So he like, and it was in the middle of a battle, and everyone's like, Morgoth is kind of sitting there like donking stuff up, smacking stuff around. He's like, aha, I'm the coolest dude here. And everyone's like, well, there's only like one, it's like one Valor versus like 7. So it's like, they're like, you're not going to win. And he's like, I'm still going to try. And like there's thunder in the sky, and this other Valor just comes like plummeting down to earth with dropping a hammer on Morgoth. Yeah?
I like the idea of just like the 7 of them with just like, he's like, I can take you. The 7 of them just bum rush him, just get him on the ground. They're just like kicking and like beating him. He's like, and he's like, no, stop. And they're just like, take your lumps.
No, stop!
That's what happens, but only except for one dude does it. There's one Valor that's just like, he's just like think of like a bare knuckles like boxer. There's one guy, he just comes down and like they say that he just like all he does is he just like runs into battle like hysterically laughing and just beats the snot out of this dude. Like whenever Morgoth hears this guy coming, he just tries to run, but he's not faster than the other guy. The other guy just
like a bad dream.
runs, tackles him, and just pounds his face into the dirt and swings him around and smacks him into stuff and beats him to a pulp and then leaves him there. And like that's just what happens. And like it was that was happening, right? And the dude had him in a headlock, pretty much a full Nelson, was just beating on him. And like Morgoth was sitting there like screaming so loud that all the demons he made under the earth, the Balrogs, were like, oh shoot, like this guy's getting his butt kicked. So they all had to come out of their fortresses underground and come and like smack like whips at the big guy, and he's like, and ran away. And like Morgoth, this most powerful Valor who has this like giant crown of iron that's actually gave him like really bad spinal problems as part of the war. Like he's just really stupid. This guy.
I imagine all the Balrogs there just snapping the whip, and there's like 50 of them like surrounding them, and they're not like it's just not doing anything, but they just keep having to do it because it's all they got. They're just snapping them with the whips. Like we're doing our best. Morgoth.
Morgoth, he's such like he's a total tool, and I think it's super funny. Like in all the lore, like at the beginning he's like I'm the strongest and best, but then like he's just like he's always like like flinching. Like there's one elf. This one elf. Morgoth is a giant like god. One little elf comes up and just takes like a sword, and he's an elven king. Morgoth ended up winning because he's like 6 stories tall. So that's what he had going on.
And
but
made of radiation. Such a joke.
So this elf runs up and this like is dancing around Morgoth's like giant hammer, and because his crown is too heavy, and like
he's got the fat roll.
It's messing up his back and stuff, and he's like got a constant pain in his neck, stuff like that. That's part of the lore, and he's just trying to get
That's
this
why
guy.
he's mean. He has neck problems all the time.
And the elf is dancing around and just slices his ankle, and then like his god blood spills everywhere, and he's like, "This is dumb, and I hate it." And like he's just the most pathetic character in the whole thing.
This is dumb, and I hate it.
And he like got this other like dark like angel person who was like a spider, right? And she feasted on like light. So he brought her. He's like, "Hey, if you help me out, we're gonna go over to the elf land and suck all the life out of the trees of light." She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in." So like, elves are busy doing something else, and the spider rolls up, sucks the juice out of the trees, kills the trees, right? And then like Morgoth like runs into the treasury, takes all the jewels, and also like the jewel called the Similarian, which is like the prize of like the whole world, kinda. With that, you can pretty much do anything you want. It's like an Infinity Stone. So he's like awesome, and it's since he's like a dark boy, just holding on to it like burns his flesh, but he's like, "Ah, yeah, it's mine," you know.
He gets oven mitts.
And like he's holding on to this thing, and the spider's like, okay, because the spider now, after sucking the life out of those trees, it's like 4 times bigger than Morgoth, whatever his name is, right? So he's like, yeah, and she's like, okay, give me all those gems you just got. I'm gonna eat them. He goes, oh, and she eats.
I'm gonna eat them.
She eats all of them, and she's like, what about that one? He's like, you can't have this one. She's like, give me that gem, or I'm gonna eat you too. She's like, you no longer have a choice. You see how big I am? She's like 8 times his size. And he's like, no? And she starts eating him, and he starts crying again, and the Balrogs come out with their whips and start whipping the spider. And like the spider runs away, and he's like, and like skulks back to his castle and sits in his giant throne and puts the gem in his already too heavy crown, and he's got like a crooked neck now in his like giant thing, and he can no longer leave his throne room because if he does, he just gets beat up by
It's the one animated short, The Double King.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he's just like he's killing everything that has a crown, but that's what he is. Like he's just like I need that.
At the beginning, I was like, Morgoth, we need to stop him. And at the end, I was like, I feel so bad. I'm like, oh, dude, this poor baby. All he wants to do is be the biggest, strongest, baddest boy around, and he can't do it. He's helpless.
But see, he's got too much armor. He's got the fat roll. He needs at least a mid roll to really do stuff.
He can't do anything. Everyone outrolls him. It's like the dude that has like.
But he's got
just
he
doesn't
even have a fat roll. He just has a slow walk.
Yeah, he has a slow walk. That's what he's got exactly. And the other dude that always beats him up is like that one guy.
Light roll.
Yeah, light roll has like just the helmet and like a shield, and like runs around and like backstabs you. You know.
Talking about Dark Souls.
Dark Souls reference, but it's
he's just getting backstabbed.
It's so funny. I remember I was reading that and I'm like, this guy, he like in J.R.R. Tolkien made him like the baddest boy. No one's stronger than this guy. Then who's this other dude that just rolls up and just like gives him a noogie and like throws him in the ocean? Like, what do you mean no one's stronger than him? Everybody's stronger than
That's
this
what
guy.
makes him dangerous, because then he takes his like bullied aggression out on the people below him.
Like, actually, Sauron accomplished more than Morgoth did. But I guess that's because Sauron was like the like
Smart.
Lord of Gifts, like that. He just worked only in lies. Morgoth is like, look at me, I'm giant and evil. He's like, I'm also the smartest and the strongest, and everyone's like, no, not really.
I'm the smartest boy, and they're like,
And then like somebody comes up and grabs him like a headlock and like nerd.
There's the main Valor that controls all the winds and stuff like that, and he's walking around to the orcs like, thanks for hanging out with him, guys, paying them money.
I really appreciate it.
He sounds like Donald Trump. Listen, I'm gonna make a
The
documentary.
crowd that breaks his neck. Like, no, this is fine.
I'm the smartest. I'm very stable. They're like, yeah, okay.
Oh man. Breathe.
Holy heck.
I don't know what's happening, Eric. Eric just walked in and he's kind of like confuzzled.
I'm amazed
I
by the
just-
story that unraveled. I don't know if that was like an OC or.
No, we're talking about Lord of the Rings
That,
lore.
that was that's like who I just talked about is the main antagonist in Lord of the Rings.
It was so well described. If there's an animator out there, if by some chance you're an animator, please.
Please,
So-
someone take this.
how it eventually happened is that like the Valar has had enough of this dude's just malarkey. So what they did is they tied him up and they were like, okay, bud. And they locked him away in like their vaults in prisons. And I forget how he got out. But he got out and he's like, I'm back! And they're like, no. They just like tied him up again and just threw him in the void. And like, no, he's just gone forever.
They threw him in the void.
they just took him. They're like, okay, bud, I'll see you later. Tossed him into the void. And then like, the whole Lord of the Rings globe actually is really weird. Because it's a globe, but at one point it was a flat land. And the strip of water that leads to the city, the island where the Valar live, with like the original elves, they all live there.
Is that like the place that they like sail off to?
Yeah, that only the elves can go there. Like that's only,
And like the people that they choose.
yeah,
to, like,
to bring with
redeem you
them
where they
because
go.
only they know the way to go. So basically, there's a globe, but there's one strip of water and an island that is like flat, straight. So you can sail and like just leave the planet entirely and just go to that place, right? And they did that after like Morgoth like kept running over there and like being a freaking dipstick, right? So they're like, okay, I've had enough of this. Round Earth, we're gonna globe this stuff so you can't get over here anymore. And then after that, they took him, threw him into the void. At that point he was like a sobbing, like, slobby mess. And he's like, no! And then, like, they also cut off his feet and his hands, I think. And then
Stubbs McGee.
threw him up. And I read this book years ago, so, take everything with a grain of salt. My version might be better. I don't know. It might be more comedic. But I knew they cut off his feet anyway, I'm pretty sure. Tossed him into the void, and now there's one elf. No, he's a human. He's a Numerian who has a Similarian in a headband on his head, and he can see like everything, and he just kind of takes his ship with his crew and just like he's like, okay, see y'all later, and just goes into the void. So he can sail through the void, I guess. But my whole thing is like, now if you're sent through the void, can't you just like sail by Morgoth and be like, hey, give me that thing real quick? I'm back.
See,
I have no hands, no feet, but the Valar are gone, so
maybe the way the story works is maybe there's just like a bit more to it, but maybe Morgoth is so bad because he started out a complete idiot and was just beaten and pummeled again and again because he's like, I guess, like a godlike character. He can't die, so he just becomes a very broken man. You know what I mean? Just extremely broken. He's like, I have nothing. Like, you have nothing to threaten me with all your strength. Like, you know what I mean? I've just been beaten down so many times. He's just a broken man who's just like, I want to just destroy everything.
yeah.
Maybe that's why he's like the biggest, baddest dude. He's like, I have nothing to lose.
When the main guy he was there by himself. He's like, this is lonely. He made all of his little angel people, right? And he's like, hey, here's what he did first. He put a vision into all their heads of like a world inhabited solely by elves, and it was super nice, really pretty. And they were all like, this is really cool. And he's like, hey, guess what? We're gonna make that world. If we all sing in this key, it'll come to creation. Everyone's like, all right, yeah. And Morgoth's like, yeah, I'm gonna sing a different key. Because I'm special and cool. And that's where all the evil came in the world from. Was this guy was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna sing in my own key. And I think he had like a little sect of followers who were like, yeah, this guy's the bee's knees. And then, of course, we don't know what happened after that. He got his
You know what?
hands and feet
It caused
chopped
all
off.
the evil in the world, but without him, Lord of the Rings wouldn't have happened.
It would have been it would have been
Yeah.
a real boring place.
Real
It's
boring
true,
thing.
but like, what story do you know that's ever just like they all whistled in the same tune, they made a perfect world, and that was that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You gotta have that conflict somewhere.
The conflict comes later when they can't decide what color to make the drapes and all war breaks out.
And then the man just laughs and punches everybody in the face repeatedly.
That's my favorite character, dude. He's my most favorite character in Lord of the Rings. No, well, not Lord of the Rings, but the Middle Earth.
I'm not sure if I'm like on an acid trip or something. Like,
Well-
I felt like I walked into like you having an acid trip, or like am I having one? Like it's my birthday, so I guess anything's possible. at this
Anything's
point.
possible.
I'm 20 years young. I'm dying. My brain's slowly dying from, I guess, suffocation.
No breathing. We should wrap it up because we need to tear down. and there's another show.
yeah.
It
behind
is
us.
10:56 at night. There's a party going on next door or something like that, and
Yeah.
we boys need to either go celebrate birthdays or go night-night.
But
Probably not.
so what we've covered all the basics. We covered the movies. We gave him the sci-fi. We gave him the fantasy. If there's any reason that this doesn't go viral, this specific podcast, it's our viewers' fault. No.
It's the subscribers' fault.
It's definitely all upon the shoulders of where's my cabbage.
Don't blame
Where's
me.
my cat? Hey, have they said anything?
Hold
else?
on, let's see.
Let's
see.
take
Hold
a
on.
look. I want to figure out who this
No,
person is.
and they haven't come back.
Wait, what?
Who
I'm
are
upset.
you? Where's my cabbage? We got this guy. Where's my
All right, we need
cabbage?
to like. The reason I said like we should stop
we're
early.
gonna get out. We're gonna get out.
Wait, someone-
So,
someone-
have a good night, everybody. Have a good day, whenever you're listening to this, and we'll see you again next week.
Ah!
Bye bye.
But-